You have seen pattern repeated in your family, a repeated story that didn't start with you but somehow found you. The same struggles, the same pain, the same limitations, the same outcomes, different faces, same story. You've watched it play out in your family, in your environment, in your bloodline. Failure repeating itself, brokenness recycling itself, delay becoming normal, pain becoming familiar, and deep down something in you refuses to accept it. You are not crazy for questioning the pattern. You are not ungrateful for wanting more. You are not difficult for refusing to settle. You are a pattern breaker. They feel things deeper. They question things others accept. They carry a burden others don't understand. Because God does not raise pattern breakers casually, He calls them. Before you were even born, God already knew you would stand in the middle of a cycle and say, "It ends with me." Jeremiah 1-5 says, "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations." You were not an accident. You were assigned to a family, but not to continue everything in it. Assigned to a lineage, but not to repeat everything from it. There are things that got to you, but they are not supposed to go through you. That's what makes you different, and that difference, it will cost you, because when you decide to break patterns, you disrupt comfort. You become the one who doesn't fit in anymore. The one who doesn't think like everyone else. The one who doesn't accept this is just how we are. And people will misunderstand you. Some will call you proud, some will call you difficult. Some will say you've changed, but they don't understand. You didn't change, you awakened. Romans 12:2 says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be the transformed by the renewing of your mind. That thing may prove what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Let me tell you something you need to hear clearly. Patterns don't break because you wish they would. Patterns break when someone is willing to confront them spiritually. Because many of the cycles you see are not just physical, they are spiritual. Generational patterns are real. Cycles of poverty, delay, addiction, fear, failure, limitation. They don't just happen, they travel. But here's the truth most people avoid. They stop with someone, and that someone is you. Galatians 3:13 says, "Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us, for it is written, Cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree." Do you understand what that means? It means through Christ you are no longer bound to continue what was before you. You've been given authority to break it, but authority without action changes nothing. You cannot carry the power of God and still tolerate cycles. You have to confront it. You have to reject it. You have to say, "This will not continue in my life." Pattern breakers are not passive. They pray differently. They think differently. They move differently because they know if they don't stand up, the cycle continues. If they don't fight, the next generation suffers. And maybe that's why your life feels heavier than others. Because you're not just living for you. You are fighting for people you may never meet. You are breaking chains your children will never have to wear. You're standing in the gap. Ezekiel 22:30 says, "And I sought for a man among them that should make up the hedge, and stand in the gap before me for the land, that I should not destroy it, but I have found none." God is still searching for people who will stand in the gap. Not complain, not blame, not run, but stand and say, "God, if it has to stop anywhere, let it stop with me." That is the heart of a pattern breaker. But let's be real, it's not easy. Because breaking a pattern means going against what is familiar. And familiar feels safe even when it's destroying you. Isaiah 43:19 says, "Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." God is doing a new thing, not a recycled thing, not a repeated thing. But new things require new mindsets. You cannot break old patterns with old thinking. You cannot step into purpose while holding on to what God is trying to remove. Pattern breakers have to let go. Let go of toxic mindsets. Let go of limiting beliefs. Let go of environments that keep pulling them back into cycles. Because sometimes the pattern is not just in your family, it's in your habits. Your thoughts, your decisions. You are not just called to end cycles. You are called to establish righteousness, to create a new standard, to build a new legacy. Deuteronomy 7-9 says, "Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him, and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations." Your obedience becomes someone else's advantage. Your breakthrough becomes someone else's starting point. That's the power of a pattern breaker, but let me warn you, the enemy fights pattern breakers harder, because if he can stop you, he doesn't just stop one life, he preserves a cycle. That's why you face things you can't explain. Battles that seem heavier than normal, opposition that feels targeted. It's not random, it's strategic because you're dangerous to cycles. But here's what the enemy doesn't understand. Greater is inside you. You're not trying to win, you're already equipped to win. But you have to rise into it. You have to stop seeing yourself as a victim of patterns and start seeing yourself as the breaker of them. You are the interruption, you are the shift. You are the emergence of a pattern breaker, and it starts now.